Good morning, everybody from my garden. It's time to go for a little explore. I've had a look at all your things. Your gardens are fabulous, and I'm even very jealous of Lucy's pizza oven. Well done. Now, you won't get individual feedback because, as you see, I have a little mishap over the break. But what I will say is downhill off-road rollerblading is about as silly as it sounds. So while this heals, I'll have a limited amount of typing. However, we're going to go for a little bit of explore. Now, my garden's nice and small, as you see. Nothing too big compared to some of yours, but there are all sorts of little bits and pieces we can explore. So we're going to go digging, have a look around the different ends of it, the shaded parts, the sunny parts, look around, and I want you to try and find 3 plants and 3 animals and see can you describe each of them to me. Okay, take a photograph of each one as you go. Now let's go over to the north side of my garden. So as we look over here, this is right up against the house, and it doesn't get very much light. You see the grass is very sad and unhappy. But let's keep looking closer and closer. And we see, instead of a load of grass, we actually have these clover plants. And if I look around my garden, there's far more of them here than the rest of it, because they seem to like this kind of sheltered area. Another plant we've got lots of over here, we'll go in a bit closer, is our moss. See all that nice little bit of moss there. And again, that loves these dark shelter conditions. Now, for to go back and see who likes a bit of light, if we come up here, all the way up, I have this set of flowers. I'll come back again to show them. And it goes up the side of the garden. So the ones at the top, of course, are doing far, far better. Now, if we look up here, there's some nice little herbs here. I think that one's sage. And that is flourishing, absolutely delighted. And even this one is trying to overgrow this poor little herb here, which is going to get crowded out if I don't start hacking this one back soon enough. But this one is delighted with where it is. Now, let's take a trip into somewhere a little bit dark, in around the back of my shed. So I have a little space where we store a bit of wood here, for odds and ends. And if we go down right nice and closely, I wonder what would like to live down here. And sometimes, we can try and do this with one hand. If we look underneath these pieces of wood, aha! There we go. See these little guys crawling away? And they love to eat. And these guys actually feed on broken down wood. So they're very happy here to eat away. This is a giant feast for them back here. Now, what we have here is a little flower bed. I'm going to plant some peas in later on. So let's have a little look in this one. And we're going to have some fun and dig. So, a big push here. Let's see what lives underground. Oh, well, that was a potato that I planted last year. We'll put that back underground. Didn't expect that one. And actually, if we have a quick look at this potato before it goes away, you can see the shoots are coming up and the roots are going down. There's a little worm there. And it's getting ready to grow into a plant. So actually, we're going to put that over there and see if we replant that afterwards. Now, I've been doing a little bit more digging on this side, and actually, if we have a little look under here, you might be able to see this new little friend we found. And there we are. He's a much more lively little critter, isn't he? So look at him, he's moving along quite happily. Little tiny, see up there? Little tiny suckers moving around our little antenna. Loads of little legs. Now over here we have an even more fantastic earthworm. Let's just pick up this chappy here. Nice big size of him, look at him. Much older. And this one is much more of a kind of a dark reddy, almost purpley colour. A little bit flat at one end. So he's gone a bit shy in my hand, but he was moving around quite nicely. So if we look at the body, it's a long, thin body. It's all kind of segmented. Let's see how well my camera can focus up close. There we are. So you can see all little bits of segments, and he's sort of waking up there. If you hold them still in your hand for a while, they do become a little less shy. And now, oh, this is an interesting one. So let's see if we can see this here, right down there. We can just begin to see its body. Okay, we'll bring the camera down first. Now this guy looks like a kind of a short worm. I'll pick it up on this thing here. But actually, it's something different altogether. So there we have it. Okay, it's a lot stiller than a worm. It's a lot shorter than a worm. All right, and you actually see it's got a little bit of a head. It's moving around now. This is it's kind of casually known as a cutworm. I had to look up the actual term for it, but it's a larvae. So just see in terms of my finger there, it's a fairly small little chappy. Now, just so you know, it's got a not too small set of teeth in one end of it, so just do beware. If you're picking these guys up, they can give you a little nip. It's called a cutworm because it likes to eat the stems of plants, and it lives here in this. You can see the way it moves. Even it's moving along there. It lives underground and it nibbles away at the stem of a plant. It's terribly annoying because it kills a whole bloody plant, and yet just by nibbling a small bit of the stem. So as a gardener, you don't really want these guys, but they're an interesting little one to find. So keep an eye out. They're usually about 4 or 5 inches down into the dirt, and they're quite hard to see, but you begin to notice the shape if you look closely. And this guy's kind of fun. You can see him moving around here quite happily.